Hi, my name is Judie VanKooiman, and you're watching Life Issues. This month's show is about a phenomenal woman, Anna Svetchnikov, who does so much in her life. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. And Anna, would you please tell us about your family first?
Sure. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have 3 boys. 1, 5, actually 5. I keep forgetting that he just turned 5, and 7.
Wow. And of course, you're married.
I'm married, yes.
To a pretty awesome guy, too, if I may say so, because I know Michael. And then why did you want to be a family therapist?
Well, when I went to college first, I actually went for biochemistry. So my major was biochemistry. And then soon after, I switched to psychology. I just had really amazing psychology teacher. And after that course, I fell in love with psychology, and I went in and I switched my major. So I decided to be in psychology. But then once I graduated psychology, I didn't know which route to take, because there's different routes for therapists, right? You can be social worker, you can be LMHC, mental health counselor, or you can be family therapist. So I actually decided to go for the family therapy.
Okay,
and I know we're like unicorns in Massachusetts. Really popular in California, but not just a few in Massachusetts.
Okay, wow. Okay. And how long have you been a therapist?
It's been a long time. I don't know. I lost, I would say over 10 years.
Wow.
All together with, I worked as a residential counselor with eating disorders. I was working at Children's Hospital in research department. I worked at in-home therapy team in Boston. So I've been in a lot of different places.
Right. Oh, good for you. I can tell that that is your passion, and that you would be very good at it. I can just tell by your nature and everything. So, good for you. And you and your husband Michael opened Longwood Care. How long have you been? Has it been in existence?
It's been 4 years. We opened it in 2016 in September, so it's been exactly 4 years now.
Okay. Wow. Good.
And first it started as nonprofit. We are a registered nonprofit organization. And then we added therapy services in 2017, and we expanded, as you know. We have multiple locations.
Yes, that was my next.
Yep, and then we just opened the resource center in 2020, so we're actually working nationwide. So anyone can call us, and we will help them with resources. So.
Wonderful, great. And so you have 2 offices, right?
So technically 3.
3, okay. All right. And why did you want to start Longwood Care?
I always wanted to work for myself. But I don't know, I just had an idea that, it started with private practice. I was not in private practice for too long until we started to expand. And I don't know, it just happened to be, we work a lot.
Yeah, yes.
And I don't know, we just wanted to help as many people as we can.
Yes, that's excellent. That's great. And what are your specialties?
So I work with children, I work with families, and so I do have a lot of kids and teens, but I also have couples. So if you can think of also parenting. Parenting is something that I specialize in, and I even created my own program and model. So it's a 12-week program. It's behavior management. And this is something that I've been working on for 4 years now. Wrote a book, which is also being published and coming out in the next month. But also couples. I know there's a big need for the couples therapist, especially from the family therapists who are trained with family dynamics.
Great. And what type of issues can you help people with?
I mean, you can think of, starting with like behavior management with little kids, right? Separation anxiety with little kids. Then we think about autism, right? I had a lot of kids with autism, so we do sensory therapy. Then we think of the teens. There's anxiety, depression, they self-harm. There's a lot going on, self-esteem issues. Then you think of the individuals. I work with women postpartum who just had kids, especially with the first child. For a lot of women, it's a really, really big change, and there's a big need to help these women and also couples.
Okay.
To be honest, I work with I think my youngest client was 3 and my oldest was approaching 90.
Wow.
So I worked with a lot of different ages and populations.
That's good, good. And Anna, during these trying times, mental health issues have risen. When people's lives change, do people get more stressed, like going through this virus pandemic?
Absolutely. It's been a huge transition for a lot of people. And I feel like once everything started, and when there's people staying at home, not too many people were too stressed at first. It felt like a vacation for the first
Right.
2 weeks. But then it started to change
Yeah.
because they actually realize how serious it is, how scary it is. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of anxiety and depression came up. And then, to be honest, right now we've been having a lot of people calling. A lot of people need services. So we're trying to accommodate as many people as we can. But obviously, we have to have a wait list at this point because.
Is there something that you can tell people that are listening right now that would be helpful going through this?
Absolutely. So there's one thing that I always teach my clients. It's ABC skills. So it's A for accumulating positive emotions. So try to think of things that bring you pleasure. And don't think of like, I would like to go to like really luxurious vacation. Think something simple. Think something that is achievable right now. So think of, going outside and enjoying the weather outside, feeling the sun on your skin, smelling the apple pie, things like, or maybe taking a long shower, spending evening with your family, playing games with your kids, things that like you like to do, and make a list. So, and then every evening, and try to do at least one thing per day.
Okay.
So, and then in the end, you will be, realizing and reflecting of how many positive things happen through the day. So B is build mastery. Think of the hobbies. Think something that brings you pleasure, but also you're working and creating something. And it could be, if you used to paint, maybe start painting again. Photography, anything you want, just something positive. And C is cope ahead of time. So it's pretty much if you think of any stressful situations, any triggers that could be coming up with a coworker, with a child, with a spouse, and think how can you respond next time. So you're more calm and collected, and you're using your calm mind versus your angry mind.
Okay. Interesting. And so I will jump into the next topic. You are also now author. What made you want to write books?
To be honest, I never thought that I would be an author. I was thinking, well, maybe I'll write a book or two on, some of the specialties that I'm working on. And I was thinking I'm going to do the parenting book and I'll do the couples book, right? And the parenting book is something I've been working since 2016. And it's all done. I got an illustrator, so it's in the final, phase, and it's coming out in the next month. But the new thing that I started this spring as the COVID-19 started is the kids books. Kids therapeutic books, because as a child I always read. And even my hairstylist, who I've been going for, same person for the past 15 years. And she told me since she met me, I always bring a book. Like she's doing my hair, I'm reading a book. So I would always read. And I read a lot of different stories and I had a lot of different ideas, but I never thought to actually put it together. And then the idea came that we can use the storytelling in the therapy and we can teach kids. Because, if you just give them exercise, it's boring. But then if you apply something that they're interested in, it actually makes sense. And they can learn the coping skill. And they can learn the emotional intelligence.
Okay. All right. And how many books have you written?
Okay. I have 10 published books right now. And I have about 10 more in production, but I've written more books that it's the series. So I have a couple of different series that are being released right now. And it just started. I had the idea last summer, actually. The idea came when I talked to my kids. I wanted something that I can produce with my children to help other children. So to use their voice and actually coming not just from the parent perspective, from an adult, but also hearing from the kids. What are the things they're interested in learning? What are the issues they want to work on or address? And so this way I decided to make the collection Children to Children collection. And, whenever you're ready, I can talk about those books.
Okay. So can you please tell us about the books?
So I have a couple of different series, right? So this is Oh, actually, I'll start with the first one.
Okay, yes.
So my
How it
first one
started.
is Awesome Team versus Coronavirus. So the Coronavirus represents the coronavirus.
Okay.
And so this is all happened. The idea came when the whole, coronavirus started, the pandemic. We closed down. We were home, and a lot of kids who I work with expressed anxiety. They were worried. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to cope with that.
Right.
So we started practicing different exercises and sessions. And then I don't know. I was just thinking, what if we make the superheroes who fight the coronavirus, who are the kids? So then I decided that superheroes will be 3 of my kids: Anthony, Adrian, and Apollo. And then the bad guys, since we were all, closed down and we couldn't have contact with others, would be my mom. And her name is Vera, so it made sense, Corona Vera.
Yeah.
So, and
cute.
since I didn't have the illustrator, so I decided to take photos and then convert them to the comic style pictures or like images that I can put in a book. So I wrote the script. It only took me like about 20 minutes to write a script. I had an idea and I was like, so I did my script. We even, with the kids, we even made the team song. It's awesome team, we will win, we will win, we will win, because we always do. So, and then we took photos. So I had the script. So I was photographer and director, which was not fun, because I had to arrange 3 different kids, different ages, and we had to take the photos that we needed. So, and then we took the photos and we put it together in the book. So it was really, really fun. And, we actually, we've been interviewed by several, newspapers, magazine. So it was really fun. We had the front porch. We had the photographer who came when we came to the front porch, and then they took the photo. So kids were really, really excited. And then I found this illustrator. He is from Brazil. So he started working, and 9 weeks later, he produced this beautiful book.
Wow.
So,
Amazing.
and the whole idea about this book was not just the comic style, and I can show you. So not just the comic style of the book, right? But also description of the coronavirus, the child-friendly description of coronavirus, and the coping exercises for the kids.
That's great.
So it's not just the story, but also it has therapeutic
Right.
background. So.
Okay. Awesome. Good for you guys.
And so since, that was really, really fun, soon after I wrote 2 more books in this series, and then I created 2 other villains. So coronavirus, she is making everyone anxious and worried, right? So she's the evil queen. The second villain is Mr. Perfect. He is the guy with OCD tendencies who works on people's fears, and he activates the fears. So he is the bad guy from my second book that will be coming out in 2 weeks. And then the third one is Lady Chameleon. She is the shapeshifter. So she is insecure, and she will take the shape of anyone she will find. So that's the third one. And then the second, so since, as I said, we were in quarantine, Mom was my coronavirus. My husband, Michael, is the Mr. Perfect, and I'm the Lady Chameleon. So
Excellent.
kids versus parents.
Yes. Oh, that's so awesome. So, and how can people purchase your books?
Absolutely. All the books are available on Amazon, and right now I'm also adding to Barnes & Nobles and other platforms. Also, positiveparentinginitiative.com, that's going to be the main website. They can also go and get a lot of information, different coping skills, just like, downloadable material. They can get the books, things like that.
Okay, awesome.
And I can also show you a couple more series.
Yes.
So this one is The Goodnight Apollo. So far we have, 5 books printed, and then 2 more that coming out in the next couple of weeks. And this is the series for little kids. It's about 3 to 7. And the main idea is it's co-written with my 5-year-old son, Adrian. So this is him, and he's telling the stories to the baby Apollo, who is my youngest one. So every book has, the main topics that is important to teach kids. So this one is about kindness. So this is the
very
kindness.
important nowadays.
And it's a story about the spoiled princess who learned the kindness. And each book, what's interesting about each book, that it has therapeutic exercise in the end. So children can practice. So this particular one, it's the random acts of kindness. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're examples of things they can do to be kind. And also the blank page, so they can write their notes and come up with their own things.
Yeah. Oh, I love random acts of kindness. That's one of my passions, I guess. I mean, I just get warm and fuzzy when I hear people do those kind of things and stuff. So good for.
Yeah, and that's the whole series. So this one is the happiness. It's about grumpy pirate who learned to be happy. And a lot of this book's based on the main concepts of therapy. It's the CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, narrative therapy, things like that. So this one is about the mermaid who was always worried. And then, and social anxiety. So pretty much the concept of social anxiety. This one is about superhero who was hesitant. And then he learned how to be, I guess, more foregoing and make decisions. This one is about the witch who could not control her own emotions. So this is emotional regulation, and I know Halloween is coming, so it's really appropriate.
Yeah, perfect timing.
And
yes.
this one is about, it's the Christmas one. It's about Elf who wanted a land with no rules, and he learned the importance of rules.
Wow, awesome. So that is a lot. Wow, good for you. You have been in many pageants, and when did you start, and why did you want to participate in them?
My first pageant was when I was 16. I started with local pageants, and I mean, back then, when I was in high school, it helped me to build my self-confidence. I was a very shy kid, and I started modeling school. I took some acting classes that really helped me to be able to speak up in front of others. It was interesting, it was fun. I done pageants for 3 years. Back then, I got multiple titles. I was Miss Teen Massachusetts, so I traveled to Miami for the nationals. I was Miss Teen Ukraine, so I actually went to Ecuador for international pageant. That was really, really, really interesting experience. I met the president of Ecuador. We were treated like celebrities. It was just, really interesting experience. And then I done a couple more pageants. Then I retired from my pageant career, as I was thinking, and I didn't do pageants for probably 10 years, and maybe a little bit over than 10 years. And then I did another pageant, and I was Mrs. Massachusetts, Mrs. pageant, and I think this is how we met a couple of years ago. So I was Mrs. Massachusetts USA Universal, and that was also, it gave me the platform. It helped me to let others know about the mission, about the importance of mental health. And I think it just, pageants, they help to promote what you're passionate about.
Right. That's good. And another thing that you do, you're also a photographer. What made you want to go into that?
To be honest, I don't have time for photography right now. This is just my, I guess the self-care thing that I do, and I just do photography for myself right now. Photography, my dad was a photographer. He was a journalist and photographer, so as growing up, I was always the model. He always, put me and test the, lighting on me and different ideas. So my mom was always assistant, and I was there, and he was testing, the lights on me. So I grew up around, photography equipment and all that. But back then, my dad was going into the studio and using chemicals. And right now, it's much easier, take a picture, download it to a computer, work on Photoshop, and you have a beautiful image.
Right. Yeah. What is your favorite subject to photograph?
I really like transformations. I also can do hair and makeup, so that's what I did with girls. We did before and after photos. And I know how important it is for the self-esteem.
Exactly.
And it was really interesting. So I done it, I think, in 2016, 2015. I did a series of, before and after photos. So I worked, I did not charge them anything, and we were just working, and it really made a difference for a lot of women.
That's so kind of you. Yeah. Recently, something exciting happened in your life. Can you please tell us about that, the 40 under 40?
I don't know, when you're saying something exciting, you're thinking about pregnant. No.
No.
I have 3 kids, I'm good.
Yeah.
But 40 under 40, yes, that's the recent award, and I just got nominated. I just heard about it last week, and I'm having the official photos taken at the Boston Business Journal next week, which is really exciting. So they're putting special edition for 40 people who were chosen. It's very exciting. Yes. And this is something that acknowledges people in industry, and I guess they're looking into your community service, involvement, and a lot of different things.
Oh, so. Unbelievable. So you don't know how you were chosen, just by
I was nominated by my husband. He sent an application, and then to be honest, I didn't expect anything.
Yeah.
And then when I checked my phone, there was like, Boston Business Journal. I was like, are you serious? I was very excited, actually.
Yes. So good for Michael. Good for him for doing that. Is there anything that we left out? Anything that you would like to share that you have coming up, or?
So right now, as an author, I have a lot of different, hopefully, awards coming my way for the books. So this book, The Awesome Team versus Coronavirus, was nominated for the Book of the Year. So I'll find out in a couple of weeks. And then I have a couple more nominations for myself and also the kids, since they co-author. So my middle one, he co-authored this series, Goodnight Apollo. So he got nominated for one of the youngest authors. And then my oldest one, he co-authored this series of the books. So we'll see. We'll find out soon in a couple of months.
Yes. Oh, that's so exciting. And if anyone has any questions about what we talked about today, can you please give us your contact info?
Absolutely. So they can email at info@longwoodcare.org.
Okay.
And then we'll respond. And this is our agency, Longwood Care.
And email's the best way?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm sorry, but that's all the time that we have. Thank you, Anna, for all you do for those in need. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. Please send them to lifeissuestv@gmail.com. And remember, live each day to the fullest and celebrate life.
Hi, I would like to introduce myself and give you a quick overview about the series of my videos. My name is Anna Svetchnikov. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm mother myself of two beautiful boys. What I realized in the past couple of years working with children and families that a lot of parents need support, and it doesn't matter the age of the child. If he is 3 or 18, the change is possible if parent is using the right approach. There are many different books and extensive videos about parenting. However, as a working mom, I realized that you don't have that much free time. I'll have a series of short videos providing support and advice about specific issues in parenting. It is something that is accessible to all parents and will not take longer than 5 minutes. I'll also have a link with downloadable materials such as behavioral charts, schedules, etc., which is accessible to all parents. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.